Now, right at this moment, thousands of people across the southeast are waiting for their DBS checks, and those long waits are taking their toll. Some have told us they've used up their savings and even gone into debt because they haven't been able to start their jobs. Disclosure and barring service checks are required before anyone can work with children or vulnerable adults. The latest figures show Sussex Police are one of the forces in England with the longest delays, as Lucinda Adam reports.
Alice graduated as a mental health support worker in June. She was soon offered a job in Crawley, but she hasn't been able to start work because she's been waiting for her DBS check for almost 3 months.
I'm just sat here, going through savings, going into debt, unfortunately, not able to earn a penny. There is almost like an element of shame in a way as well, because I have gone to uni for 3 years to work with vulnerable people, and I've left and now I'm stuck here, unable to do the one thing that I want to do. I would really like to know if they truly understand the urgency that there is at the moment, because this is going to become a crisis if something doesn't change.
In Brighton, Eloise has had an even longer wait. She's training to be a driving instructor. She applied to DBS in March, but 7 months later, she's still waiting.
At the moment, we're just floating above water. I'm losing out on income because I can't start giving driving lessons. And I have 3 people waiting for driving lessons already. There's no one you can contact. You can't speak to anybody. No one's interested in you. You're just told to wait.
Delays in DBS checks have been increasing over the past year, but the problem is most acute here in the southeast. Sussex, Kent and Hampshire are the 3 police forces in England with the longest delays, and each now has a recovery plan in place to clear the backlog.
Addressing these delays is crucial to ensure that we have essential services that are adequately staffed. And failure to fill those positions ultimately leaves our employers with staff shortages, could lead to burnout or decreased quality of services.
Earlier this year, Sussex Police was given special funding by the DBS to help tackle the problem. Sussex Police say they understand the impact that these delays are having. They say they've had a huge increase in demand coupled with high staff turnover. They've used some of that extra funding to recruit more case officers and say things should improve once they're all fully trained. But they say it's vital that every DBS check is done to a high standard to keep the community safe. But for applicants waiting to start their jobs, all they can do is wait until the DBS certificate arrives in the post. Lucinda Adam, BBC South East Today, Burgess Hill.
Well, our reporter Claudia Sabasis is with me now. Claudia, how long should these checks take to be carried out?
Well, Natalie, these background checks are required by employers to inspect a person's criminal record, and that's usually when they're in roles like care services, healthcare, teaching and childcare. Now, the government says most of these should be completed in 14 days, but in Sussex, a recent police report put the average wait at 45 days. Now, that same report said some are waiting for more than 3 months. Part of the problem, though, is demand, with forces in Sussex, Surrey and Kent now processing 30% more enhanced checks than they were a year ago. Now, these enhanced checks are required if you're working with children or adults, and they may sometimes need additional information about an individual. But meanwhile, the Disclosure and Barring Service, which is part of the Home Office, says it does expect to see significant improvements once forces have recruited and trained staff to fill any vacant posts.
Claudia, thank you.